morning and a warm welcome, and thank you for keeping it right here on Sunrise at Sea. My name is Shivan this morning, and I take you through your wellness, lifestyle and beauty segment. Well, this morning on wellness and lifestyle, we continue the conversation on intellectual wellness. Now, of course, due to public demand, we had to ask Miss Owembabazi Judith to come back to give us more insight, because we left the viewers wanting for more. And just to give you again a brief introduction of who she is, well, she is the CEO and founder of Goldbird Communications and currently running the Check-in Africa Youth and Women Mentorship Program. Well, she has also been the General Manager, Marketing and Product Development and the Department of Housing Finance Bank. Well, of course, you can be sure to get more of her biography by going to her website and basically finding out what she's all about. But she is back again, as promised, to continue the conversation on intellectual wellness. However, this morning and last time we talked about planning, and I think that it's very important that now look into evaluation and implementation, but also looking at some of the stoppers that would hinder you from having wellness that is intellectual. The things of the mind are not easy. And I remember one of the things that Madame Judith did highlight is it doesn't come easy. It comes at a cost. You must read. Read. Please, Ugandans, read. Good morning, Madame Judith, and thank you for joining us this morning on Sunrise at Sea. It's a pleasure to have you again.
Thank you, Shivan. The pleasure is all mine. It's been pretty exciting and also daunting, as people are coming into my inbox and saying, hey, this conversation ain't over. You need to go back. We haven't finished business. So I'm humbled to be here this morning. Good morning, our dear viewers and those that are following us online. And yes, we continue to talk about intellectual wellness. For those that maybe missed the first part of our conversation, yes, we did talk about intellectual wellness, and we broke it down to mindful living, to having the discipline to be mindful about everything. And in that way, you're able to manage your time, to manage yourself, to manage everything that's all about you and the people that maybe you lead, if you're a leader or an organization. Today, last time we focused on goal setting.
Yes.
Have a long-term plan, medium-term, short-term, so they all add up to one thing. But also very important, don't just have a plan and keep it. And keep editing it for semantics and make sure the English is right, the objectives are smart, but then you're not implementing them. One of the biggest weaknesses we have as Ugandans, Shivan, is execution, is implementation. People plan to plan. People hold meetings to go and review minutes of the previous meeting and create more minutes to be reviewed at the next meeting. But the action logs, deferred. Half the time they're not even picked. Things get lost in translation. How will you manage time if you're a project manager, but you've lost track of all the action logs? So I think that one of the core components of time management is implementation. It sounds very basic, but it is real. People don't implement. And they make these amazing presentations and they get stuck in meetings, morning to sunset, planning.
Then my next question would be, because you mentioned, and that is very true, I mean, we are very good at coming up with plans, and very many times, most of the times, we come up with plans and they look very good on paper, but yes, when it comes to the implementation process, it becomes hard. So is it an issue that people are planning more than they can handle, or is it just an act of laziness, or they do not even know the steps to make sure that these plans are put into effect?
I think one of the things that eats up our plans is procrastination. Whether at a personal level or at a managerial level, people like to procrastinate. And also, believe it or not, sometimes it's ego. People want to feel important. They have something they're supposed to act on, There's a project that's supposed to happen. Your procurement money is supposed to issue an LPO. They sit on the LPO. They feel important. You need to go and say, now, you know, we are running late. Now, I have a meeting. I'll see you. I'll see you later. Come on. Or somebody who has implemented has to chase for their payment. Why? Why don't you pay them? So they save that money within that time and go and do other things. So when you waste your own time, you also inadvertently waste other people's time. When you delay execution, you delay many other activities. So I think viewers, we need to commit to execution. Please always remember that done is better than excellent. Some people are perfectionists, so they don't execute until every T's are dotted and all the I's, everything is in. When will that happen? There's no such a thing as a very perfect environment. So I think that one of the showstoppers for execution is either procrastination, perfectionism, sometimes it's malice, sometimes it's sheer laziness.
Yes.
Sometimes it's lack of mindfulness. This is what we are talking about. Mm-hmm. If you're present in every moment, then you will know that I'm delaying my team. I like the guys that run with these batoons in the races. Everybody knows that if it's my time, you see them agitated, waiting to get the baton.
Yes.
And so that's how we should live our lives. If you're taking a child in the morning, how many of us have children and they're complaining, Mommy, I'm going to be late again, and you're busy applying your makeup? How are you training? So if you've been trained like that, then over time you also know that it's okay to take 4 hours applying makeup and people can wait.
So what steps then should someone take just away while looking even at intellectual wellness and looking at stoppers for intellectual wellness? Okay, you have planned, you have managed your time. What next?
I think there are tools that guide in execution.
Okay.
There are project management tools that you can get even as part of software packages so that you're able to track. Have a Gantt chart. If your Gantt chart is constantly in red or going down, be able to review. When you review, be flexible enough.
Yes. Find
some critical paths such that you know these things can be done simultaneously. We didn't study these things in school to keep them in the books. Mm-hmm. I remember I struggled understanding the critical path and drawing it until you come into real life and you know, okay, I need to draw it. And yes, expect resistance because there are people who don't understand these things. And when you challenge them too much, especially when they are superior to you, for example, in a workplace, there will be some repercussions, but hey, stand for the truth, walk in your truth, and it shall set you free, like the Bible says.
Yes.
Yeah. So last but not least on the execution part, please evaluate. Even at the end of the day as an individual, before you go to bed, evaluate. And say, okay, so today, how did these things go? When I woke up according to my to-do list, this is what I wanted to do. How much of that have I achieved? Read a book before you go to bed. On one of those things, if you're chasing after something.
Yes.
If you want to understand time management, at least buy that little book that says Minute Manager Meets Monkey.
But now it's
very interesting.
Very interesting. I've actually read it before, but now you need to be careful because I've seen memes going around social media of people who choose to read books. And behind the book, it says, how to get rich while staying at home. How to get a husband without putting yourself out there.
You see, we live in a very dynamic world. Mm-hmm. And again, when you're mindful, you'll find that you filter and you will choose the right things. Absolutely, there are people, gorgeous people, who paint their nails, don't lift a finger, and they are living their dream life. But how many are they?
And is it sustainable? Are they happy?
And is it sustainable? Are they happy? Very important
Are they
question.
happy?
Are they happy? You need to know the tears behind some of that mascara, behind some of these big houses in those big walls. Some are happy, some are not. But why? We have the capacity to be able to be mindful enough to create that environment that gives us the satiation and the joy that we crave. And that comes also from evaluation. You can evaluate and you say, am I still happy being a housewife and my husband packing a car and changing it for me? Or is there more to my life?
Than just that.
Am I happy sitting on the internet and conning innocent people abroad? Yeah, without going outside. And buying these cars. What curse am I putting onto my family? 4 generations will pay for your laziness of sitting inside and thinking that you're smart and you're swindling from people. Mindful living, time management, intellectual wellness. We're talking about wellness, not perversion, not confusion, not cunningness, not wittiness. You can be witty, you can get away with so much. I think for me, as we conclude, one is that once you evaluate, don't write another report and file it. Pick out the lessons from whatever you've done. Even during the night, if you evaluate and you see you did 2 out of 10, that's okay. Pat yourself on the back. Find out why. There must be a genuine reason sometimes. Maybe midway you lost a loved one and you had to change course, but don't let the rest of the stuff get lost in translation. You're going to be able to unlearn certain things. We are living in times that are erratic. If you've been doing it this way and now it's not working, start to explore, learn new ways of doing things that serve you better. Be kind to yourself. A plan is not a cross that you're going to hang yourself there. If you've planned and it's not working the way you had planned, that's okay. Change plans. They say only fools don't change their minds. It's okay to change your mind, but don't be fickle. There's a difference between being fickle and authentically changing your mind. Yeah, so don't be there changing your mind all the time, right? I wanted to share just very quickly the showstoppers.
Absolutely.
For this part of our conversation. 1, financial insufficiency can stop you from executing an otherwise good plan. So be kind to yourself. If the finances have jammed for this week, replan, refocus. If you surmount that peer pressure, then you're able to execute and execute well. And by the way, when you do something, do it like you're the only person that has ever done it. Do it like nobody knows how to do it. Okay, don't leave room. Communication, lack of focus. When there's miscommunication, when there's a lack of focus, you know that things will fall apart. You know that plans won't go through. You know that you will lose time. As you're trying to, people are seeking for clarity all the time. When I communicate to people, I over-communicate. Not because I think they don't understand, but I want to be absolutely sure that no one will come back to me and say, I didn't understand.
Yes.
Yeah? Lack of consistency. Consistency is a big thing, Shivan. So anyway, I would like to end this way. Be present. Lead without a title. That means leading yourself as well. Meet that monkey. Calculate atomic habits.
Yes.
There's a book on that. There's a book on everything that I'm saying right now. Live in the now. Learn the invaluable laws of growth by Maxwell. Learn and relearn. That's the cycle of life.
Okay.
Plus, please live. have fun. We have one life here.
YOLO! She mentioned my favorite quote. Sarah, hi, Sarah Apollo. You only live once. So thank you so much, Madam Julie.
You live once.
For giving us so much. Those were words of wisdom. And I hope for the viewer that is watching us this morning, they were able to pick a thing or two. Because when it comes to intellectual wellness, when it comes to planning, when it comes to evaluating, she mentioned things like throwing yourself pity parties. You do not look at people at TV and you think they have made it in life. For you, what are you doing? Yeah? You look at me, you think I have it all together, my friend. I have so many things that I battle with, but thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise at Sea.
Thank you.
Well, and that wraps up that we had for you this morning on Wellness, Beauty and Lifestyle. I do hope that you were able to actually pick a thing or two, and you're not only just going to listen, but you are going to implement and put into action. Otherwise, we still do have an amazing show lined up for you. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea and don't blink.